Ministers of Joy. That's the title of our new book and the title of our podcast series.
We're all ministers of joy.
I'm Reverend Naomi Green, along with the irreverent journalist Harry Hurt III, my co-author and co-founder of our nonprofit mission, Ministers of Joy. We're both ministers of joy, and we believe you're a minister of joy, whether you realize it or not.
That's right.
You may feel lost in your life at the moment and totally without joy. You may feel that the pain and suffering of everyday existence are overwhelming your joy. Or you may be one of the lucky few. Your life may be perfect, but you often feel joy even though you're not always sure how to sustain joy and spread joy. Well, joy, joy, joy! You've come to the right place.
That's for sure.
Ministers of Joy is founded on what we call the three simple truths. We believe there's a spark of life within all of us that emanates joy. We believe there's pain and suffering in the world. And we believe that pain and suffering can be alleviated by finding and spreading joy in our everyday lives.
That's right, what we believe.
Ministers of Joy is non-denominational and inclusive. We welcome people of all faiths and those that have no faith.
Kind of like me.
Ministers of Joy doesn't advocate a particular religion or religious liturgy. We'll leave that up to you and the God of your choice. We simply believe that we're all ministers of joy. The problem is most of us don't realize that, and we have no idea how to go about finding joy, much less spreading joy in our everyday lives.
No clue at all.
That's where this podcast series comes in.
Yes.
We're not just talking about joy, and we're going to be talking about you and joy. We're going to be talking about connecting and or reconnecting you with the joy that emanates from the spark of life within you, whether you realize it or not. Drawing on our own real life experiences, we're going to show you how to find and spread joy in your everyday life, probably in ways you've never even imagined. And we'll sing our song of joy backed by a diverse chorus of inspirational voices you've probably heard of before, but never really listened to up until now. We'll cite the Old and New Testaments of the Bible, the Quran, Buddhism, Taoism, William Shakespeare, the Beatles, Reverend Al Green, and Taylor Swift to show how all major religions and spiritual movements arrive at the same conclusion.
Taylor Swift, that's right.
We're all ministers of joy, whether we realize it or not. We like to keep things as simple as 1, 2, 3. Just as Ministers of Joy is founded on three simple truths, we believe that there are three simple ways to find joy and spread joy in your everyday life. 1, look within. 2, look without. 3, look with others.
There you are.
In the first 5 episodes of our podcast series, we'll show you how to find joy in your everyday life by looking within, without, and with others. In our next 5 episodes, we'll show you how to spread joy in your everyday life by looking within, without, and with others. We'll wrap up our podcast series by inviting you to join us in initiatives to find and spread joy in your everyday life as ministers of joy.
Oh yeah, and that's what it's really all about. We all want to be ministers of joy.
That's right, Harry. Before we begin, you should know a little bit about me and my co-author, Harry, and how we've come to be ministers of joy from very different directions.
Boy, is that the truth. Very different directions. Go ahead, tell us about yourself.
I'm a single mother of 4 children and a grandmother to 3 grandchildren. I was born in a middle-class suburb in Michigan to a macho American father and a strict Taiwanese mother. I consider myself to be extremely fortunate in life, but I've experienced my share of pain and suffering. Well, I am twice divorced, and after 2 failed marriages, I had to raise my children by myself. At one point, I thought about writing an autobiography titled Life is Laundry.
I can just see the pile, huh?
I was working 3 jobs, studying to be a paralegal, and mothering nonstop. But no matter how hard I worked, a pile of dirty clothes just kept getting higher.
Higher and higher. Oh my gosh.
Against all odds, I eventually found joy in my struggles. Joy carried me through the pain and suffering. I began to spread joy in my everyday life, and I found still more joy. For that, I thank the God of my choice. I believe in divine intervention, and that's one of the many reasons I've decided to become an ordained reverend and Christian counselor at the age of 50-something.
You look like 30-something, but go ahead.
My faith is the inner core of my being. I believe there is a higher power I call God. I believe that God of my choice grants us free will, but watches over us in everything we do. I recognize that there is pain and suffering in this world, and all you have to do is just look around for a moment to see that.
Boy, that's the truth.
But I believe that God will see us through all the trials and tribulations of life. I believe that God is our light, our hope, our salvation, and our ultimate source of joy. Unlike me, Harry is a non-believer who can speak eloquently for himself.
Well, yes, I can, Naomi, and I'll tell you, it's about time I did that. I'm a divorced father, one son, age 26, and I consider myself to be fortunate in life as well. I was born in Houston, Texas. I graduated at Harvard College, and I became a New York Times columnist and the author of 8 nonfiction books. My journalistic adventures include dancing with a famous ballerina, quarterbacking a pro football team in practice, and clowning with the Big Top Circus. Now that might sound like a dream life, but I've also suffered my share of pain and suffering. One of my sisters and 2 of my cousins committed suicide. I've grappled with intense family traumas over and over again. I've also had to struggle financially with the internet killing legacy magazine and newspaper journalists. I'm an agnostic, a fallen Catholic who doesn't ascribe to any religion. As a former journalist, I'm acutely aware of the pain and suffering that afflicts this world throughout history. I don't believe in a higher power, in part because I can't imagine that a higher power would permit an atrocity like the Holocaust. That said, I deeply respect all religions and religious faith. I passed the 70-mile-per-hour age limit in my life. I'm not getting any younger, and I'm getting crustier every day, but I still have an open mind and a heart that's open to joy, at least a crack.
And that's why Harry and I joined in co-founding Ministers of Joy. As you listen to this podcast series, you'll get my take on how to find and spread joy in your everyday life, but you'll also hear from Harry. My take on joy is female and informed by my Christian faith in a higher power. Harry's take on joy is male and informed by his agnostic doubts and disbeliefs.
That's right.
In other words, Harry and I are pretty much complete opposites.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that's a good thing, both for us and for you. We believe that, like us, you'll find the contrast between our reverent and irreverent perspectives to be a source of enlightenment, as well as a bit of fun. That gives you a special kind of joy. So please join us again for the second episode in our podcast series, in which we'll answer one of the most basic questions of all. What is joy?
What is joy?
I'm Reverend Naomi Green with the Irreverent Harry Hurt III, reminding you that we all have one thing in common, whether we realize it or not. We're
all ministers of joy.